Hello everyone, today I want to explain what Model Context Protocol is, and then I want to demonstrate you how we can create our own MCP server with .NET by using C# MCP SDK. To define Model Context Protocol, let's check the Anthropic's own announcement blog post in here. Their coined the related term and describe them in the related article. They basically describe it as an open standard protocol that allow you to connect your AI assistants to the real systems where the data lives, and such as repositories, business tools, and development environments. And it aims to help frontier models produce better, more relevant responses. So it actually, if we want to simply define it, it's actually allows us a protocol which is an open standard protocol, and we have some data sources, and our AI powered tools need to connect with them. And this protocol actually tries to make it easier within a well-bounded standards. As developers, we can just need to create our own MCP server projects, or use one of the already provided MCP servers, and then integrate it with our MCP clients into our own models and use them in our applications. So they can answer better questions. The LLMs can answer better questions by using the MCP servers. And there are already some MCP servers provided, like for GitHub, for example. You can use GitHub MCP server to manage your repositories and get the file operations, and ask your LLM a question, and they can use the GitHub MCP server to get related information, just specialized in your case. Also, there are some other servers like PostgreSQL, and you can see also other data sources like Redis and so on. Also, there are hundreds of other official integrations as third-party servers in here. You can always use them. But also you may need to create your own MCP servers for your own specialized reasons. And in a minute, actually, we will starting to create our own MCP servers. But before that, let's look to MCP architecture. Give it a real quick look. And if we look at the MCP architecture, we can see a figure like this one. We have some host, which is the application, the host related server, the cloud desktop application, or IDA tools like Cursor, Windsurf, and other AI tools, for example. And we are using MCP protocol, and we have MCP servers whose are defined related APIs to us, and return us some specialized data according to our business needs and with the related data sources. We can use both local data source, or we can use any remote service we want through internet, and we can provide web APIs. We can define web APIs in our MCP server and define related AIs, and then the related host application can use them. And so these are the three main components: MCP hosts, MCP servers, and MCP clients. MCP hosts are applications or tools that consume MCP services like this cloud desktop, IDs, and AI tools, as we said. And also we have MCP servers. They are specialized programs, specialized applications that expose specific features or data through the APIs, and they provide model context protocol specifications. And also there are some predefined MCP servers that we already seen from the service repository of Model Context Protocol organization. And also we have MCP clients, which are the intermediaries that facilitate communication between MCP hosts and MCP servers. So they are our starting point, and they connect to one of the MCP servers and let the LLMs to run them, to know them, and get the related data for us. Let's think of a scenario to demonstrate better the related MCP server. Okay, I will open my cursor in here, and I will just basically click Ctrl Alt to open the chat, and I want to know what is the current time in Istanbul, for example. And when I ask this, I will not, select any model, and I will enable auto selection, so cursor can select related model for me. And when I run it, as you can see, instead of directly answering to my question, it tends to create a new Python script in here and ask me to run it with this command. I can, run the requirements command, install the Python code, and then run this command in here. I can accept it and run the related Python code, and then let the related response return to me and shown by the related LLM, like this one. It's run the related Python file, get related current time, which is correct, and then return the related response to me. But as you can see, it didn't directly answer it, and it created the code instead, because it doesn't have any access in real-time access. So if I says that don't provide me code and answer without creating a code to find out, for example, if I update it like this one, it will set that I don't have real-time access to current time information. So this LLM, this large language model doesn't have real-time access, and it's unable to provide me an answer, even for this simple question. And at that point, the MCP context actually kicks in, and we can create our own MCP server, which can return some times related responses to us according to the related cities or time zones. And at that point, we can actually create our own MCP server. We can start creating it. In my project, I will open the terminal, and I will create my own. I will create a console application with this code. Let me show you that with .NET new console command. I will create the console application, and I will change my directory to this file, this project. And in here, if I check the program.cs, you can see it's a simple console application with a single console output line in here. And to use the C# MCP SDK, then we need to add two packages into our project. We first need to add model context protocol package into our project, which is the related SDK which provide related functionality to us. And then we can add the Microsoft extensions.hosting package to make our console application as an hosted application. Okay, it adds the related two packages in here. The model context protocol is related, the related package that provides us related services and allows us to define MCP tools to let the LLM use them to and extend their capabilities. And in our program.cs file, we need to make the related configurations. For example, in here we can create an empty host, the application builder. We can get an host application builder instance, and then we can configure our MCP server in here. And if we look at those methods, the MCP server, register the related services into the dependency injection container, and then we have with stdio server transport, which allows us to return a value in std for communication. And also we have with tools from assembly method, which allows us to use some attributes and clearly indicate our MCP tool, so the LLM providers can directly use them, then they can directly see them. Okay, these 3 lines all of our configuration. Then in our application we can create a new class called time tools, for example. And in here we can create our own application. Let me copy paste from here in my article. Okay, in here I will create related time tool class. And in here, as you can see that there are some attributes. This indicates that these are MCP tools. And let me add related namespaces and the description and namespace for description attribute. And we have MCP Server tool type attribute, which is used to indicate our class which define related tools. And then we have 2 methods, which the first one returns related current time, and the second one return the guess time zone from us, and then returns the current time according to the related time zone by using time zone info API of .NET. We created our methods and indicate that they are MCP tools, and related MCP client should be able to use them, right? And at that point our application is done. Actually, we directly created our MCP server by just creating a time tools class, and we can build our application. And after it's successfully built, then we can open the MCP client and directly connect with our MCP server. For the MCP client, I will use cursor, because as you would remember, we asked our question in cursor and it couldn't find the answer for the current time in Istanbul, Turkey. And at that point you can either go to File, Preferences and Cursor Settings and find the MCP section in here, or alternatively you can click the Open Cursor Settings button here, the gear icon, and it will open the cursor settings, and you can click the MCP section, and then since there are no MCP servers, we can directly add it through by clicking this button. In here we can directly define our own MCP server. We just need to say that we just need to define a name for our MCP server and then give the related command to run our .NET application. For example, we can add a code like this one, and we defined our MCP server name. We define a command which we can run our application with .NET run command, and we can specify the project, and we don't need to build our application because we already done that. And then we just need to pass the full path in here. And I've created my application under the desktop, MCP time server, and this one. But also it should say that MCP demo, actually. MCP demo in here. And actually we can check that in our file explorer to ensure the full path in here. I will copy in here and I will check that MCP demo and MCP time server like this one. Yes, MCP demo and like this one. I am just passing the absolute URL including the csproj file. Now I've saved the related mcp.json file, and then I go back to the cursor settings, and the only thing I should do is refresh to let the cursor run the related command for me, and then run the related MCP server. It now tries to run the related project, and let me enable it again and refresh it. It says it couldn't. It says the client is closed. It might be unable to run it. Let's check it actually. Let's open our application, and in here I will add a console write line like this one, and then when I check my tool in here, everything seems correct. and let me run it again. It still couldn't run it. I will copy paste the related command and we'll try to run it in my terminal in here to see the related problem. It now actually needs to show my own console write line statement in here if it can run. And let's check it real quick. Okay, it couldn't run our application. Let me stop it and I will open my time tools and I will change the namespace as time tools in here as well. Then I will build my application again. And after building it, I will try to run it to see if it works. Now it says the related server is up. I can stop my application and go back to cursor settings, and now I can I am sure that our MCP server is working. I can set this enabled and try to refresh it so it can connect to our own MCP server, as you can see here. Now our MCP server is up and you can see that our tools are recognized by the our related tools are recognized by the cursor and they are listing in here, and you can see the related descriptions in here. Guess times in specific time zone, and the other one is guess the current time. If I open time tools, you can see that it is getting from the description attribute, so you can add description attribute on top of your MCP tool, your methods, and add a description to related tools and see them in the MCP client. And now since it's enabled, let's try it out. I will open my chat again. And this time I will open a new chat. And let me copy this one. I will open a new chat and I will copy paste the related question here again. What is the current time in Istanbul, Turkey? I will not select any model. Maybe we can select it to find it out. I've selected Claude 3.5 Sonnet and then I will send a request. Now the Claude will use, as you can see, it's calling our MCP tool. It says that I understand that you are asking the time in Istanbul, Turkey, and here's the time zone for it. And as far as I see it, that there's the MCP tool and I need to pass the time zone in, and then ask me to run the related tool. I can run the tool, and as you can see, it directly returned the related result, and it show me the related result directly, and it is coming from our own MCP server. And that's it actually. As you can see, it's using this tool, get time in time zone tool, pass the related parameter, and get the result and show me according to do that. So this is how it's easy to create a new MCP server, and after you created them, you just need to open your cursor settings if you want to, configure your MCP servers in the cursor. And cursor is MCP client in our case, and both the MCP host in our example. You just need to, define your own MCP server with the configuration. You can pass a command and the arguments to run your own MCP server. It is, local application. And then you can enable your MCP server, and by clicking the refresh button, you can force cursor to run the related command to build up your MCP server, and then you can get benefit of the related query. You can ask anytime with any model, and then it will check the related question and will understand the MCP tool first. It will check the MCP tool, pass the time zone, and then you can run the tool and it will automatically show you the related response. And actually we don't need to run the tool each time. If I want, I can enable the YOLO mode in here. There is a auto run mode. So if I enable that, it can directly run the related MCP tool and show me the related result. But since I didn't enable that, this is the reason why each time I need to run the related SMTP tool, and then the LLM can show me the real value in the current time in Istanbul, like this one. Actually, that was all from me. We just defined what the model context protocol is, and if you want to, you can also go back to my own Substack and read the related post from here and see the each step clearly. I also describe them in here. You can always check them. And if you like this video, you can like it, and if you have any suggestion or any feedback, you can always write in the comment section. And you can also subscribe to me if you want to get this kind of content. And that was all from me, and thanks for listening. You can also subscribe to my blog post, and you can get the latest posts that I've shared through your emails. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next video.